Hey guys, and welcome back to another tutorial. This time I'm going to be taking a quick look into 2D side scrollers. This is something else that I've had quite a bit of interest in doing in Project Spark, and to be honest, when I first started I didn't really know much about even setting up the movement. This is how much of a learning curve this sort of game has been for me. So I'm going to quickly just show you, just in case you do not know and you want to set up some sort of side scroller. Just simple basic movement, left to right. The first thing I'm going to note before I get into it is that the way it looks is that the camera will be facing this side as this camera is right now, and the way it's facing out towards north. So we know that this line, this track that we're going to move on, is going to be our Z axis as opposed to, say, the X axis if it was changed to a different orientation. This logic cube here, this doesn't contain anything. This is basically just like the rail, if you think of it as being the Z axis itself. So the place that we change this to changes where the characters and the enemies will run along side to side. We're going to go into the brain. This is where setting the track up works and the actual movement. And it all starts with this first line right here, where we have our position, which is just a normal position, and one of the modifiers. No, it's not even a modifier. It's a vector component rather, and the Z-axis, and that equals the Z-axis again of the logic cube. Just use the in-ball picker, and that sets that. That means that we can't go forward or backwards, away or toward the camera, and so on. We can only move left to right. Speaking of cameras, this is the one we have set up here. It's a simple boom camera. I say simple, it is a lot more simple than it actually looks here. It's basically just setting the pitch, which you'll find under the modifiers, sorry. You go into the positioning and into the pitch. We've set that to 10. I'm not sure why it's roughly about there, but it seems to be quite straight on. I'm not sure why the number's 10, but trust me. The last positioning one we have is also yaw. We also have to set that to 270, and that's the orientation around the object, which is our character. And 270 faces the camera directly north. Again, for another positioning we have the distance. We set that to 10. That's just a decent amount away from the player that we can see what's going on. And then the last two modifiers here are the ignore prop and ignore terrain collision. These are good things to have if you're going to have your character running, say, behind little bits of terrain or doorways and stuff like that. It stops the camera from jutting in and out and getting caught there. It makes it run a lot better. So that's the camera sorted out. We now need to add in the movement. That's the last thing we got to do for this one here, and that's these two simple lines here. You can see that they're basically the same thing here. I've got when the left stick is either press left or right, and then I've used these OR, which are just timing and logic OR. And then the same with left and right. We've got left and down, right and down, or left and up, right and up. So anywhere on the left side of the circle and the right side of the circle, if you think of the joystick as being like that, we'll move. So same here, move west and move east. So anytime we press left, left up or left down, it'll move us to the west, which we know is left because the camera's facing north. And then the same with the right positions, just change it to east. And that is basically it for the movement, and all you do is for enemy brains as well is set that first line where we just set the Z axis to the logic cube's Z position as well, and that keeps everything nice and neat and on track. And you can see here we can run left, we can run right, we can say them in the opposite way to actually which ones I did, and we can have fights and we can run off. And that'll be it for this one. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.